to all of you. Now we are going to keynote 5 of this BIPALMA 2021. So our 5 keynote speaker is Prof. Naveen Rastogi, who is going to talk about the diversified value-added product from coconut residue. And I just want to give the brief introductions about the Prof. Naveen. Naveen is currently Chief Scientist and Head Department of Food Engineering at Central Food Technological Research Institute, Mysore, India. His main research interests are in non-thermal processing, such as high pressure processing, pulse electric field, ozone processing, osmotic drying of the food, and biomaterial extraction using liquid membrane, downstream processing of biomolecules, membrane processing, as well as development of diversified product from locally available agriculture produce. He has so far published more 140 papers in Refer International Journal, and he also author and co-author 16 book chapters and one of the editor of the book on membrane processing. He also served as the editor of Archival Journal, Journal of Food Science and Technology, Springer, and also editorial board of Innovative Food Science and Emerging Technology, Elsevier, Journal of Food Engineering, Journal of Engineering, the Scientific World Journal, Research and Review Journal of Food Science and Technology. And he have done his bachelor degree from Lucknow, and after that again he done the bachelor degree from Harcourt Butler Technology in Kanpur, BTech, and he also done the master in business administration and master in engineering management from the Rohil Khan University, Bareilly, and Shri J.R.M. Raja College of Engineering, Mysore, respectively. Further, Dr. Rastogi received his PhD in food engineering from CFTRI, Mysore, India. Welcome, Dr. Rastogi. Please present your keynote talk. Please unmute yourself and share your screen, please. Yes, make it full.
A very good day to everybody. And myself, Dr. Naveen Rastogi, I work in the Department of Food Engineering at Central Food Technology Research Institute. Today we are going to tell about the work done on the coconut palm we are working, and how we have used this coconut palm byproducts, like we have converted the waste into the value-added products and different diversified products we have developed. So like that here, if you take a case of a matured coconut, like we can have two types of the coconut. One is the matured coconut and another is a tender coconut. If we have matured coconut, we can make a desiccated coconut powder, coconut spread we can make a spray dried coconut milk powder, coconut dietary fiber, we can convert this coconut fiber into dietary fibers, virgin coconut oil we can make, and moreover we can extract the coconut protein. It's a very good quality protein.
Dr. Naveen, just to interrupt you, can you make the full screen? Yeah, after that, click on that. Yes, okay. Yes.
So it is like a tender coconut, we can make a coconut beverages. So if you look at the coconut processing, in that nothing is going to be wasted here. Almost everything in the processing is used. Like we start with the coconut, we get the shells here. Shells can be converted into the activated charcoal, biocups, degradable items like fuel. It can be used as a fuel for the boiler. And parings, whatever brown color testa we remove from the coconut, it can be used for a little lower quality of the coconut oil, or it can be used for the animal feed. And if we look at, we get a coconut water. So coconut water we can concentrate, and we can make a membrane processed, membrane distilled coconut water concentrate, or it can be converted into a vinegar by addition of some sugar, and then maybe fermentation, we can convert into the vinegar. As well as we get a white endosperm, like white part of the coconut. If you break it, it can be converted into the flakes and gratings. Like this is the most common product available. internationally, and coconut flakes are very much used. And when we get a spent fiber after extraction of the milk from the coconut fiber, we get dietary fiber. It can be, the fibers can be converted into the dietary fiber. It is a natural laxative. It can be even converted into the microcellulose. And then when we get the milk out of it, we can change the milk, convert this milk into the coconut milk powder. And one way, and when we get milk, we can extract the oil from there. So that is called as a virgin coconut oil, because we here it is extracted from the fresh coconut and without subjecting it to the shearing or any other high temperature processing. So we call it as a virgin coconut oil. It has a lot of medicinal advantages, and in the sense of the Ayurvedas and other medicinal systems. So here our approaches are like we want to adopt modern technologies so that we can change the rural economy into the vibrant commercial viable economy. And for that we can use even the membrane processing for concentration and extraction process and preservation processes. And second thing is that we can develop technologies for the consumer based products. And now there are advent of some technology international market potential, and most of the it's used any other Indian traditional dish. What they do, they extract the milk powder and use it. Maybe in the probably in the other countries also it can be used. So consumer will be relaxed from the use of drudgery of extracting the milk from the coconut. They can just directly add water here, and then they can use the product as the spread coconut milk powder in the different products to making a getting the taste. So it mainly provides a convenience to the consumer. And the problem is here is when we extract the milk, it is having around 35% of the fat content. And we dry it, spray dry it, it is around 65% fat content, which makes it very difficult to spray dry it. So we have several patents backed by these technologies, like 3 as coconut. We can shell it, we can pair it and get the paired meat out of it, disintegrated meat. We can extract the milk. When we get the milk, this is the main patented step is we formulate emulsion in such a way that it can withstand the spray drying, and then it can give us a milk powder at that condition. And the fat content is at the time after the dehydration, it is around 65%. So another product is like when we get the coconut milk, then we can extract the coconut oil from this. Generally, coconut is dried and then it is extracted the coconut oil from it, but it has to undergo a lot of different processes like cleaning and other, maybe the bleaching and all other things here, and then it give the extracted oil, but that oil is of not very high quality. So what we have made, and it leads to a degradation of the many bioactive compounds. What we have made is here it is called as a virgin coconut oil. It is not subjected to a very high temperature or shear, and then all the like vitamin E and lauric acid nutrients all are intact in it. So it has a abundance of medium chain fatty acids and has a role in the diet as a functional food. It can be used as a functional food. And coconut, it becomes a very stable emulsion. Like when we extract the coconut milk, it is very difficult to break the emulsion to separate the oil and the protein here. So it is backed by the patent also, like how do we separate the milk in the protein and the oil from this and be giving to the higher recovery. So these are the, it is used in many of the pharmaceutical dishes, this pharmaceutical applications, cosmetic applications, and body care products, wrinkles, sagging, aging products, and good as seasoning and cooking oil. It does not have that much kind of a smell which general ordinary coconut oil gives, but it has a lot of other medicinal values, and it can be directly consumed and has a mild and very sweet aroma. Sometimes people eat it as a like a weight control recipe. Like it can even go for the weight control. People, if they consume it regularly, it leads to the weight reduction and the control. And it has a very useful in case of the Ayurveda. And maybe you can see the process here. Like we start with the raw material, it is disintegrated. We extract the milk from it, and from the milk we centrifuge it. So when we get a cream out of it, from the cream we again centrifuge and get the oil like this. So nowhere it is subjected to a high temperature or high pressure or high shearing here. So everything is extracted at a room temperature. So it gives a very crystal clear quality of the oil, having a lot of pharmaceutical compounds. This technology has been transferred to more than 80 Indian industries, and it was awarded a best technology transfer to the industry. So this is the general wet processing method. Like we have just tried about, we separate the coconut fiber separately. We get the coconut milk that can be used even for the spray drying of the coconut milk, or we can make a virgin coconut oil. So this is the general scheme for the processing. So it is like a material balance. If we start with the 500 numbers of the coconuts, we end up with around 30 kgs. So maybe 17 to 18 coconuts will give a 1 kg of the oil. And we can recover the protein, we can get the protein cream, coconut cream, and we can separate the residue and milk first. And from the milk, we can separate water and cream. From the cream, we can separate protein and virgin coconut oil. So if you look at the parameter based on our technology, we have got a very high content of the vitamin E as compared to the commercial samples available. And if this is matching, it's much better than the APCC standard samples available in the market. Like for the export, we need to have, it should match with the APCC standards. So it is much better than APCC standards. Another work is here, like we can, whatever the fibers in the coconut is there, that can be converted into the dietary fibers. And it has its great place here, because whatever fiber we get from oat bran, fruit and fibers, wheat bran, peas hull, apple, citrus, coconut is having a very high swelling capacity, water binding capacity, water holding capacity. So these things are very important for any fiber to be called as a dietary fiber. And moreover, it has a white color, so it can get into any of the fibers. Some of the fibers are of the different colors, so it may change the color of the product, but here it is not affecting the color of the product because of the high white in color. And only what we observed is here, there is a particle size here. If we break it to reduce the particle size to 550 micrometer, then it increases the surface area and we can get the higher swelling capacity, water binding and water holding capacity. Further reduction in the size may lead to decrease in these properties. It could be because of the honeycomb structure of the fibers maybe get disturbed and reduce the water holding capacity. So one more product from the tender coconut is like tender coconut, it is a mix of the solid endosperm as well as the liquid endosperm. So what we have done in this, whatever the liquid and the solid endosperm, we have mixed both the things together, and then we blended it into the particular ratio, and then formulated this, heated, and then filtered, and then again it is heated and the bottled and exhausted, and then we sealed, and then we have autoclaved it, because this is at little bit pH is not very low, it is 4 to 5, so it requires autoclaving, and the product can be preserved as such for 6 months to 9 months in the open conditions. And like now we sometimes we are asking what are the natural products available in place of the cola or something. So this is one of the product from the and from the natural products. So this is tender coconut beverage. So this just we have estimated the moisture content, ash and everything here, and it was once it was highly at temperature, it was heated, so all these microorganisms are absent, and then the fermentation test was negative, and product gave a good shelf life. And sensorily we have this compared with this product, and we found that it is giving a very good score on the attributes like whiteness, consistency, like milk, coconut like, milky, fermented, sweet, and overall quality was found to be very good, and it was accepted at ambient condition up to 3 months. But it is because it is a sterilized product, probably it may still go ahead with the other 90 days. So another product, we mature coconut water. If you look at this, there is no technology where we can use the mature coconut water for this. So what we started with this, because this is a problem in the industry, they have to throw this water into the drain, and then if it goes to the drain, so then it is if we can filter it, centrifuge it, then we can remove the oil present in it, and then we can concentrate it up to 60-degree Brix. It will have some quantities of the potassium plus some sugars, so we can concentrate to 60-degree Brix in a thin film evaporator, and then we can boil and add it with the jam spread formulation, and then we can make a product like a coconut spread. And whatever the fibers we have earlier made, we spread in this coconut spread just to give a feel of the coconut. And then this is just a waste utilization, like whatever the water was there, we could use it and then make in the and it is a good coconut flavor. And this is also, it is backed by the Indian patents, and we have transferred this technology to few companies because it is all, it's a waste water, and people wanted to convert into the well. So we have tested this, and it is
Dr. Naveen, I just want to interrupt you. Your 3 minutes is left, you know.
Yes, sir. I'm almost through.
Okay,
So,
okay, great.
So
Thank
this is also backed by the Indian patent, and we have done all the quantitative descriptive analysis, attributes, and we have finalized this. This is also transferred to few industries in India. Another thing here, like we get a lot of coconut protein, but only thing is separation of protein from the fat is difficult. If we can separate both, we have already done with the for the fat, and whatever left out is the protein. So if we can do that, like ground with the water, we get extraction of the milk, and then we do the phase separation and centrifuge it, and then we get a protein solution, and then we concentrate it by the membrane ultrafiltration, and then retentate, we get around 98% protein, and it was spread right. We got a coconut protein powder, which is the protein powder from the vegetable source, and it can be used in any formulations. Another, this is probably the second last slide. So tender coconut is a very popular drink in India. So it is difficult to transport, ship the tender coconut because of its high weight and like that here. So what we thought is it is possible to concentrate this coconut water, but if you use the regular membrane processing like reverse osmosis, it can be only concentrate up to 20-degree Brix or 25-degree Brix. Beyond that, we cannot concentrate. So then what we use the non-thermal processing concentration using osmotic membrane distillation. Here it can be concentrated up to 55 to 60-degree Brix. If this is the process here, like it is, it coconut water, it goes here, circulates here, and then here the concentrated salt solution goes and transfer here. So what happens here? water from the coconut water transfers from coconut water side to the salt solution side, and then it gets concentrated up to 55-degree Brix. Even we can concentrate up to 60-degree Brix. If can be concentrated up to 60-degree Brix, then we do not need any preservation. And then it can 1 teaspoon, if we dissolve in 1 glass of water, it will give us a ready to drink coconut, tender coconut water. So this is just a description of the process, like we have done with the other juice like sweet lime, phycocyanin, and osmotic agent. We have used sodium chloride. So this is the way how it works. It goes like, suppose coconut works here, coconut water goes here, comes back here, and this is the solution here, concentrated solution. It goes and comes back here. So water is transferred from coconut water to the salt solution, and coconut water gets concentrated. So I've just come to the end of my presentation. These are the few technologies that we developed in the like 2 decades of R&D we have done on the coconut processing, and we have transferred these technologies to more than 80 companies all over the south of India, wherever the coconut is grown. And I'd like to thank the director for giving me an opportunity, and organizers, Boy Palmo. Anyway, I'm one of the organizers and committee member, and for giving me to opportunity to present this work. And thank you very much for your attention. So if you have any questions, I'd like to answer.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen, for giving a very good overview towards the commercialization of the coir-based products. Thank you so much. If any question, we are already getting late, few minutes, but we can take that 1 or 2 questions. So if anybody have a questions, please ask. Otherwise, you can directly contact to Dr. Naveen. So is no any questions? So I thank you on behalf of the organizing committee of BIPALMA 2021 for an impressive talk on diversified value-added product from coconut residue.